let's understand the time intelligence functions in Power BI DAX, that is total YTD, total QTD, and total MTD. These functions basically use it to calculate cumulative totals over a different period of time. Just to understand its basic, I created this summary of the function. So here I have three functions. First one is total YTD. So it's basically total year to date, means total YTD calculates the cumulative totals of an expression from the beginning of the year to the specific date. Means it will consider 1 year from the Jan 1st by default. It will consider from the Jan 1st to the end of December 31st. It have its scope and it will calculate the data within that range. For example, if you see the syntax, you can see total YTD. Inside that we have to write expression like, for example, sum of sales, and you have to give the date column. So if you give total sales YTD, means total YTD a sum of sales amount, and you have to mention the range of date within your model. So what it will do is it will calculate the total sum of sale from the beginning of the year till end of the year. So let's see it in practical way how it works in DAX. Similar way, we have total QTD. It will take the range of one quarter. It will calculate the sum of sale. For example, it will calculate the sum of sale from the beginning of that quarter. For example, Jan to Jan, Feb, March 31st. It will consider one quarter. From the Jan 1st to the March 31st, it will calculate total sale in a cumulative way. And same way, total MTD, it will consider the scope of 1 month from the start of the month till end of the month. It will cumulatively add the totals. So if you are using time intelligence function in your model, first thing you have to make sure that you will have one calendar table. A specific calendar table must be there, because in the data we have, for example, the sales data, here I'm using the sales data. So there are one column of date, but it's not sure that that date is continuous. So to use the time intelligence functions effectively, you should have a continuous date range so that we can use that in a filters or calculation. So what we are doing is, first, before using these functions, I will create one table, that is calendar table. It's very simple to create calendar table. Just you need to click on new table. Here define your calendar table. So we have the function that is calendar auto. So that is a simpler way to create a calendar. So calendar auto, how it works is, it will take all the date column in our model. If you have that one table, like here we have Superstore, it have the column called as order date. So the model automatically create one table considering the min and max of that column, order date column, and it will automatically create a table. So if I click here, one table will be created with the name of calendar, and it will create with the one column as date. So here we can see it start from Jan 1st of 2014. And if you want to change the format, you just click over here, format, and you can define date, month, and year. So after that, what we have to do is, you should connect that. So now we have in our model, we have two tables, one is calendar and one is our original table, that is Superstore. What you should do is, you should connect these two table with this key. So in our case, that is date, order date. So if I connect, so you should build a relationship. So here the calendar table have the unique date, and our Superstore date have the many days, like same day many sales may happen. So it will show many to one relationship. Then if I enter tab, 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 enter, that relationship is built. So the relationship now is one to many relationship, means one date, like for example Jan 1st, many sales may happen. Okay, so this is what it shows, that relation shows. Now we can use this date to filter this table. So we can use this column of date in the calculation of any measures used in this table. Then if you want to add some more column here in the table, for example, if you want to create a month name, so we have to create new column, and I will call it as month is equal to, just what I will do is I use this format function. So, and you have to give the value. I will give the value as date from my calendar table. Then I will define the format. Sorry, it should be month. If I use month and close, I will get the month. So here you can see that 1 means January. Same way, if you want to get any other, you can use that, like weekday, week number, or day, like that. For example, I will create one more column for day. So I will call it as day is equal to, here also I will use format, and I will give the argument as calendar date. Then I will define the format. Okay, by this our table is created. Now what we can do, now let's go to our function. So let's understand one by one how it works. So in the next page, what I will do, the first measure I will create in the Superstore table. Okay, so if you see the table of Superstore, here we can see that it have all the information regarding the sales. Okay, here I have the column. The numerical column I have is price per unit and quantity. So if I want to get for this specific product, what is the total sale? So what I have to do? I have to do price per unit multiplied by quantity. Then I will get what are the overall value for this sold. So what I will create, I can create a measure, or I can create one column here for simplify so that we can compare later. So I'll create a new column. Let's say I'll create a new column as let's say, for example, I'll give as uh, sales. Okay, sale value sale value is equal to, so sale value is equal to price into quantity. So if I type price, it will give price per unit multiplied by, just mention quantity. So if I multiply, I will get the total sales value. So here 77.88 into 2 is equal to 155.76. So this is one thing. So now our column of total sales is created. So I will create one more measure in my Superstores table, that is to get a total sum of sales. So I will define my measure over here as, for example, total sale. Total sales is equal to, here I have the two column. What I have to do, I have to multiply quantity into unit price, then I need to sum up. In this case, I will use iterative function, that is sum x. In sum x, I have to give my table, which table I am using, that is Superstore, and I have to give the expression. So the expression is quantity, that column, into the price per unit. Okay, price per unit. What this function will do, it will calculate, it will evaluate this expression, quantity into price, for each row of this table, and it will sum up. This is how I can get the sum of total sale. Now I can use this measure in my presentations. So what I will do, I will create one matrix, for example, the matrix, and in column row I will use this date, and let's expand this all level, entire level, and let's remove this date and quarter so it will be easy to see. And let me increase the size little bit. Yeah, so now I have created my total sales. If I use this in a value, So it will evaluate for each context. And let's change the subtotal for row subtotal. Let's keep it in a bottom. Yeah, bottom. Yeah. So this is my calculated measure, and we already created one column, that is sales value. So let's see how it will react. So if I get the sales value in this, how it will show. So if I give here, it will take aggregation function as sum, and the both values are same. Here we used our measure, and here we used our column, and column in visualize it automatically sum of the value. So both are same, but having a measure is good. We can use that measure in other calculation also, and we can specifically use that measure in our presentation. So this is why we create a specific measure for total sale. Then coming to our points of total YTD and total MTD and total QTD. So here I will create one more measure for total YTD first. Okay, the measure. How we have to define that total YTD measure is 0 to total YTD sales. Okay, total YTD sales. The function I'm going to use is total YTD function. So inside that we have to write one expression, that is our calculation. Here we have already created one measure, that is total sales. I can use the same measure, so it will be evaluated within this scope, whatever the function we define here, whatever the calculation we define using total YTD. So this measure will be evaluated. Then we have to give the range of date. Date I'm using from our calendar we already created. So if I execute this, now I have one more measure. If I use this measure in this matrix visualization, we will understand how it works, that total YTD function works. Okay, here we can see in a January, so the context is for January in the total sale. So it will showing the total sale of for the month of January in the year 2024. In the total YTD sales also it is showing the same. In the February, we can see the total sale for February is 52,924.26, but total YTD function showing it as 2,270.36. Why? Because it will calculating like from the beginning of Jan till the end of February, whatever the sales it will show here. Like for it's like adding up January month sale and Feb month sale together. That's why it's showing 2 lakh. In the next March, it will calculate from Jan till March what is the sale. Like that, it's go on adding all sale cumulatively till the end of the year. And in 15, it will start from the beginning of the Jan, because the context for this YTD function 1 year. In the next year, it will change the context from the beginning of that year Jan. It start calculating, and it will append, and it will cumulatively add the sales, and till the end of that December of that year it will calculate. So this is how that total YTD function works. Let's create one more measure for total QTD. So let's see how that behave. So 3 total sales, total sales, total, let's say total QTD sales is equal to same. I have the one more function, total QTD. I will use my measure total sales. I have my measure over here. Then I will define the date from calendar. Here only I will create one more measure for my MTD also. Let's create one more measure, MTD. Let's change this to MTD, total MTD. Yeah. Now what I will do, I will use that two measures in my visual so that we can understand how it behave. So that total MTD and total QTD. Okay. So both we have. See how this is behaving. This is total YTD. From the beginning of the year till the end of that year, it will calculate appending cumulatively. This calculate from the beginning of the quarter. Here Jan is the quarter, starting quarter. So for the first month there is no preceding quarter. So it will calculate from the starting of the Jan. So first month it will be same. In the next context, for Feb, the quarter start from Jan. So it will appending the sale of Jan also. It is cumulatively add for Jan. Next for till March. March and it will calculate the total sale from Jan. From Jan to till March. What is the sale? In the next context, for April, it will change. It will show the April month sale only because the quarter end in March. For April, start month for the quarter is April. So it is showing the April month sale. In the next May, it's adding April and May sale and showing over here. In the June, it will add April, May, June and showing over here. This is how the quarter QTD function works. Then MTD means from the beginning of the date of the month till the end of the month, it will calculate. So in our case, it is showing for each month it's same only because from the date start till the end of that month date, it will calculate the total sale. So, and for the next year, the context will be different. In January, the total sale, of course, it will calculate the January total sale and total YTD function. The present data it has is from Jan only. So for the first month, it will same, and for the next month, it will total of Jan and February, and for the next month, it is March. It is the total of Jan, Feb, and March. Likewise, the total QTD function also it will calculate goes on calculating till the end of the quarter, and the next quarter it will take the first month and it will goes on calculating. I will present this in a visual. Let's say, yeah, here I will take date and total YTD. Okay, total YTD, I will take total YTD in Y axis. Here I can see from 15 it is goes on increasing till the end of 16, means it's appending cumulatively calculating the total. So the next month have the total of the previous month also is goes on adding till the end of the month, end of the year. Then the next year it will start on from taking from the beginning of the year, it's go on adding. So this is how total YTD, total QTD and total MTD function works in Power BI DAX. You can use this to create a visual that you want, and if you want to present the data in a different way and or in a cumulative way, rolling, rolling, rolling total, you can use that. And one more point I want to add here is it's total YTD and total QTD. If you see the formula, it's not only for total sale. You can also use for average. If you want to define the formula, here I use sum of sales. But if you want to create a average, you can use that. Average also you can use, or min, max, anything you can use. But the scope will be different for YTD, QTD and MTD. So based on your requirement, you can use in your uh, dashboard creating or a report creating a process. So this is about this video. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the more videos like this. Thank you.